It was a rainy afternoon, the kind of day when the world outside felt distant and quiet. Inside, Mia sat at the dining table, surrounded by hundreds of tiny puzzle pieces. She had been working on the puzzle for hours, but it still wasn't coming together. No matter how many pieces she fit, the picture seemed incomplete, disjointed and unfinished. Frustration bubbled up inside her. She sighed and pushed the pieces away, thinking, maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe it's just too hard. Every time Mia thought she had found the right piece, it didn't fit. Every time she made progress, she felt like she was still miles away from completing the puzzle. As the rain tapped gently against the window, her mother quietly entered the room. She stood at the doorway for a moment, watching Mia struggle with the puzzle. With a soft smile, she walked over to the table and sat down beside her daughter. Mia's mother didn't say anything right away. Instead, she picked up one of the puzzle pieces and examined it carefully. After a moment, she placed the piece down and said, "You know, Mia, life is a lot like this puzzle." "What do you mean?" she asked. Her mother smiled and gestured to the scattered puzzle pieces. "Sometimes, when we look at all the pieces, it feels overwhelming. It feels like there's no way we'll ever finish. But every time we find one piece that fits, we get a little closer to the final picture." Mia thought about what her mother had said. She looked down at the puzzle, which had felt like such an impossible task only moments before. Maybe her mother was right. Maybe the trick wasn't to focus on how much was left, but to appreciate each piece she put into place. With a renewed sense of patience, Mia picked up another piece. This time, she didn't rush. She studied the shape, the colors, and the patterns. And then, almost as if the puzzle had been waiting for her to see it differently, the piece slid into place. She smiled, feeling a small victory. Then, she reached for another piece and another. Piece by piece, the puzzle began to take form. It wasn't happening all at once, but Mia could see the progress. Bit by bit, the picture was coming together. Hours passed, but Mia was no longer counting the minutes. She was too focused on the joy of each small success, the satisfaction of each piece that found its place. She understood now that every tiny achievement was a step toward the bigger picture. Mia's mother stood and walked toward the door. She didn't need to say more. Mia had learned the lesson that her mother had been hoping she would, that in life, the puzzle isn't solved all at once. It's solved piece by piece, with patience, persistence, and a willingness to keep going, even when it feels like you're far from the end. The puzzle wasn't finished yet, but that didn't matter. What mattered was that Mia had learned something far more important than solving a puzzle. She had learned that success, whether it's finishing a puzzle, chasing a dream, or achieving a goal, comes one piece at a time. Each small victory leads to the next, and before you know it, the picture becomes clear. And so, as the rain cleared and the sun peeked through the clouds, Mia kept going. She knew now that with each piece she placed, she was one step closer to finishing what she had started. One small victory at a time, she would complete her puzzle, and every other challenge life brought her way. Life, like a puzzle, is solved piece by piece. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. What's a puzzle in your life that you're working on? Share your story in the comments below.